Good afternoon all. Welcome back to our coding series. I hope you all are doing great. So let's get started with our today's new topic. I hope you all are doing great and really excited for today's session. So today we're going to start here with a very new topic, that is Python's while loop, code smarter, not harder. Okay, so moving ahead, as if any one of you are too new to the session, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Vaishnavi and I have done my masters from BITS Pilani, and I have taught more than 50,000 plus kids all over the globe, and I am coding and product technologist. Okay, so moving ahead, welcome to the sisyaclass, and today, as I told you, we are going to start with Python loop, okay, code smarter, not harder. Now, first of all, let's see the agenda for today's session. So, while loops, we are going to understand what are while loops, how to use while loops, why while loops are really important and it's very useful in your programming. We are going to learn. We'll explore practical examples as well and fun coding activity. Okay, now, so before going ahead and understanding what while loops are, let's first of all revise what we have learned in our previous session. Okay, so yesterday's session was all about understanding loops from basics, and we have learned about for loops and we did an amazing activity. So we have learned about loops, okay, how loops are useful, what are loops, okay, it's like if your task is repeating again and again, okay, that is a loop. And then we have seen for loop, how for loop is working, what is the syntax of the for loop, right, everything. And then we did a very fun activity. Okay, now moving ahead, so let's understand while loop. So what is while loop? So basically it runs a block of code repeatedly as long as the condition is true and ideal for unknown iterations. So don't mix any of the loops with each other. Okay, so we have different types of loops as I've explained you in the yesterday's session. So today is while loop. What is the difference? Okay, so in while loop, it's very simple. It's a block of a code, okay, that repeats until and unless your condition is met. Okay, for example, if you're running a code and if you have given any condition, okay, you want that condition should be fulfilled. Okay, so that loop is going to run until and unless the condition is met. Okay, once the condition is met, the loop will stop automatically. That's your while loop. Okay, so now let's see the examples of while loop in our day-to-day life where it's useful. Okay, so if you have seen waiting for an elevator, okay, if you're going to malls or if you have the elevators in your buildings, in your schools, if you're waiting for an elevators, right? So until and unless you're reaching to that floor, okay, that condition is met, then the elevator stops, right? So that fulfills the while loop here. Okay. Next is washing clothes in washing machine. Similarly, if you're keeping your clothes inside washing machine, setting a timer, okay, so after some of the hours or after an hour or a minute, okay, the machine is going to give you an alarm. Why? Because you have set that condition. Okay, after 50 minutes or 60 minutes of time, your machine is going to stop. Okay, so this is how the while loop works, right? Next is downloading a file unless your file is downloaded, right? So while loop concept is covering here as well. Watching a movie once you finish your movie. So if you can just see, every of the example is carrying a condition. Okay, exercising, right? Once until unless you're finishing your exercise, you're reaching your goal, okay, then you stop. Right? So every of the examples here, if you can just see, it's considering the while loop. In our day-to-day life, we are using loops. Now let's just see how to use this loop in programming. Okay, so first of all, we'll understand this with a very good flow chart. Okay, so whenever any of the condition you're giving, okay, it will enter a loop, right? So if you can just see, it will enter a loop here, it will test the condition. Now the program is going to check if your condition is true. What it will do, it will run, it will execute here, and it will again go and start the condition another time. Okay, it depends how many times you have given the condition. Okay, so if your condition is true, it will go inside the body, it will execute and it will run that loop again. But what if your condition is false? So what is going to happen? It will enter the loop, it is going to test the condition, and if your condition becomes false, your loop is going to terminate, right? So this is how the while loop concept it's working. Okay. Now let's see and execute this concept in programming. Okay. So this is what the syntax of while loop. Now how you will be typing, what is the syntax of the while loop, how you will be writing in your editor. Okay. So while, we need to use this keyword while. Okay. In yesterday's session we have learned about for loop. Okay. Every loop has its own specific syntax, right? So if you can just see while, okay, the expression, the condition which you wanted to write here, and the statement here. Okay. So this is how the syntax looks like, right? Okay. So if you guys have any questions, anything, just comment your questions in comment section, and I would be loved to answer those questions, right? So now moving ahead, so let's see one of the examples here, right? So here if you can just see, the count has the value 1 inside it. Now what is my condition is, while count is lesser than or equals to 5, we need to print count, right? So now if you have just seen, I have given this condition here, right? While count less than or equals to 5, right? What I need to print? I need to print the numbers which are less than and equals to 5, right? So here I will be getting the count plus equals to 1. After every of the number is going to increment. Okay, so I'll be getting the values from 1 to 5 here. So this is how you can just declare your condition, and once you run your program, it's going to execute using the while keyword. Okay, I hope everything is clear till here. Okay, so now let's move ahead and let's jump to our activity. So we'll be just going to our programmers platform. And now let's just see how we are going to execute this while loop practically. Okay, so for that, first of all, let's just see an example. If I want to print the number in order, in a proper order, how we can do that? Okay, so we will be just declaring x that is equals to 0. Okay, then I'll be using here, okay, wait, I think it's not, yeah, x equals to 0. Okay, now coming to the new line, I'll be typing here while, okay, now I'm going to give the condition here, if while x is lesser than 5. Okay, now I wanted to print the number in order. Okay, so if 5 is less than 5, just a second. Okay, yeah. There it is. Okay, so we'll take that backward. Yeah. Now, if 5 is, we'll just do it. If x is less than 5. Right? So if x equals to 0, now while x is lesser than 5, what I wanted to print here is, I need to print, we'll go to the new line, I wanted to print here x. Okay, so simply I'll be just keeping x. So make sure whenever you're declaring any of the variable, and if it is in capital or if it is in lowercase or uppercase, you have to just use that one here only. Okay, and then I want to increase the count, so I'll be just typing x, that is, it should be plus equals to 1. Okay, so what does this means? I have started a while loop that is x is lesser than 5, and print x here, and what this line is going to do, it will increment the number one after other. Okay, what it's going to do, it is going to increase x by 1 each of the value. Okay, so now let's just run this. Okay, okay, so we need to make sure that we are just giving proper spaces here. Okay, the space is necessary and while x, okay, the colon sign should be there. It's just also saying that. Okay, so now what is printing? It's just printing all of the zeros here. Okay, if you can just see, we are getting the output. Okay, so what my value is coming here, x is equals to 0, right, and x is less than 5. Okay, now we need to print x here. Okay, so x, this is how we will be getting the value. Okay, on line number 4 plus, we need to give some space. Let's just keep it back in the iteration. Okay, okay, so this is how you will be getting the value. Now what if you want to reverse this? Okay, so what we can just do here, we'll be just keeping here value 5. We'll be keeping value 5. Now if x is greater than, okay, now if x is greater than 5, right, now then we need to print x, and here now I will be taking minus sign, x minus. Okay, okay, and I think I need to give here space. Let's just give some space. Okay, so this is how it's going to give you the reverse numbers. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So this is what I have done. If x is greater than 5, right, now, okay, let's just keep here if it is greater than, okay, 0 as well. Okay, so we are going to run this. Okay, so this is how you will be getting the output. Okay, now moving ahead, let's just see the one of the very cool activity of how to use it in a list format. So in the yesterday's session we have learned about list, and let's just see how we can use this in the list format here. Okay, so here I will be declaring the value. Okay, let me just declare fruits. Okay, so fruits is equals to, okay, now I'll be just taking the square brackets here. Okay, I need to take square brackets, and every value should be there inside the double quotes. Okay, so let me type apple. Okay, apple, and then we'll just give orange. Let's go with orange. Okay, and make sure you're giving the comma after a value. And I think your favorite, one of the fruits now these days is going to be mango, because summers are there. So let's take mango. Okay, so we'll take mango. So I have defined 3 of the values here. Now what I'm going to just do it, I need to print these of these values. Okay, so let's see how we are going to do, right? So these are the 3 values that we have taken. Okay, so now what I'll just do, I will be initializing I. Okay, I that is equals to 0. Okay, I equals to 0. Now what loop I'm going to run here is while, okay, let me just take over this, while I'll just keep I is lesser than length. For the length function you need to use len. While I is, let's just give here, okay, space. So while I is less than length, right? Now I need to print here. Okay, so the length is the values which we have stored here inside fruits, right? So just need to open the curly brackets, fruits. Okay, now we'll give colon sign. Okay, so here we need to print, right? Now I need to print here the fruits. So what I'll just do, I'll type print fruits. Okay, let's just type fruits, and we'll just keep the index value inside this. So this is what we have to do, and then it should be plus equals to 1. Okay. Now what this is going to do is, let's just see. So this loop is going to run as long as we will be getting these values. Okay, so if you can just see, this print is going to print the fruits with the index value. So apple, always any of the value, if you can just see, it's starting from 0. So it is having 0, 1, 2. So for that's why, I have given fruits I. Now this is going to get the index value, and this I plus equals to 1, what it will do, it will make and it will increment that value, right? So now let's just run it. Okay, so if you can just see here, we got 3 of the values in the list format, right? Apple, orange and mangoes. Now how it is working, so this is the condition. Until and unless the condition is true, you will be getting the output, right? Okay, so fruits, apple. Now if you want to increase the list, if you want to increase the value, you can increase the values as well. And if you want to give 2 values or 1 values, that also, it up to you how your program is working. Okay, so this is what the list example, how you can use while loop with the list as well, right? So now moving ahead, so let's just do another activity. Okay, so what we can just do, we will be just doing, and we'll be just giving an input. Let's take an input from the user here. Okay, so for that we need to just declare the number. Okay, that number should be, okay, let's take number should be equals to, okay, integer. Okay, number should be equals to integer. And now what number I have to take here? Input. I need to take input from the user. Okay, so input. Now what input I wanted to take here is that it's going to enter the number. So let's take another bracket and we'll just go with the double quotes. Okay, enter number. Okay, so I am just taking this input from the user. Now what I'm going to do here is, I wanted to just keep space. Okay, now what I'm just doing, I'm just taking enter a number. The user is going to input the number here, and then we are going to iterate the loop. So while, let's just start a while loop here. Okay, while number, what my condition is going to be, while number is not equals to 0. Okay, my number is not equals to 0. I need to print here, print you entered. Okay, print here, print f. Let's just take f here. We'll just take f, and f you entered f. Now single. So you entered you entered, okay, so you entered number. I think let's just take this number, okay, and then here we'll give now after this we are going to take the input, so number that is equals to integer, okay, and then input, we'll just take input here, and then again a bracket, enter a number. We're gonna ask for another number, enter a number. Okay, it should be there inside. Enter a number, and then in the end we're going to print the end. So let's just print here the end message. Okay, so we'll just run it, and while I is 0, okay, number that is taking number. So what we'll just do, we will just copy this. Okay, so what I've just done here is I've initialized the number, as you can just see, and this starting with the while number that is not equals to 0. Okay, then what I need to print here is n. You need to enter a number, okay, that should be there inside the curly bracket, and that the number here input we need to take from the user and then print the n. Okay, so this is how you can use the while loop in very various conditions and very various topics, right? Now, moving ahead here, let's just see some of the cool activity and some of the cool quiz questions. Okay, so after a lot of discussion about all of the while loop, I do have some of the cool quizzes for you. So can you answer this question? Which of the following is the correct syntax for a while loop in Python? Tell me. Now only we have seen if it is A, while condition with curly brackets, B, while condition, the code block execution should be there, or the C option, loop while with the condition, or it is D, repeat while. What do you think? Which option is correct? Just comment down your answers. Come on. I want you to be interactive in this session so that you will be getting a good, even if it is wrong, just give it a try. Okay? Just see. It's very easy. Now only we have just learned about this, right? So now let's see the answer. Yes. So it's B. Okay, so while condition, and then you need to add your code block, right? So while any of the condition is there, and then you will be executing that condition. Okay, moving ahead. Let's just see. So what is the purpose of a while loop? Now, as I've explained you about while loop, what do you think? What is the purpose of the while loop? To execute code only on, or to repeat a block of code while a condition is true, or to run a loop a specific number of times, or none of the above? What do you think? Now only we have learned about while loop and we have seen how it is working, right? So to execute code only, is it to execute a code, or to repeat a block of code while a condition is true, or to run a loop a fixed number of times only? Yes. So lot of you have answered this. Okay, let's see your answers. So it is B, to repeat a block of code while a condition is true. Okay, so until and unless your condition is true, while loop is going to run. Once your condition is done, it has met your condition, it will stop automatically. Okay, so now let's just move ahead. Okay, so now let's look at this question. What will be the output of the following code? Okay, what do you think? So if x is equals to 3, okay, while x is greater than 0. Okay, what condition I have given here is if x is greater than 0, I need to print x. Okay, after that x minus equals to 1. Okay, this code we have seen and we have done it, okay, now only. So can you try it as well and just tell me what answer you will be getting here. What is the meaning of the condition? I'll tell you. See, x I have started with 0. What I want is if the value is greater than 0, okay, x should be greater than 0, I need to print x. Now x minus equals to 1, what is going to give us? It will give you the numbers in reverse condition, okay, in reverse pattern, right? Instead of 1, 2, 3, now you will be getting, it should be, the answer should be, yes, 3, 2, 1, correct. So if you can just see the print condition, what x minus equals to 1 is going to, it will give you the reverse pattern, okay. And if you want the pattern should start from a proper pattern from 1 to 3, there you have to give the plus sign, right? Easy, okay. So moving ahead, yeah. Now let's summarize what we have learned in today's session. So we have learned about while loops, how to use while loops, what are while loops. So it is like until and unless your condition is true, the while loop is going to run. Once your condition, it has met your condition, it will stop there, right? How to use while loop? Using the keyword while, and you have to execute your condition there and the code as well. Okay, so we have seen the real world example. You are already using while loop in your day-to-day life. Okay, the coding, you know, this coding and robotics, like it's like you are already doing in your day-to-day life, right? But now you need to understand and need to execute in like developing games and developing websites, right? In developing, instead of just playing all of these things, and instead of using all of these things, okay, why not to just be productive? Right? So use all of these concepts thoroughly and let me know in any of your doubts you have. Okay? And then we have seen a lot of activities as well. Okay? So moving ahead, you can download our sisyaclass application from Play Store and App Store. Any of the queries you have, you can get in touch with us. We would love to help you all. Okay? And join all of our classes. Our amazing sessions are going live as well. You can join those sessions. Okay? So like, share and subscribe our channel, share with your friends and family, and get lots of amazing coding, robotics, and in every subject you will be getting lot of videos from us. Yeah. So we are here to help you. Reach out to us if you have any queries, any concern. Thank you for today's session. I hope you enjoyed this session and we'll be meeting in the next class with a very new topic. Thank you. Bye-bye.